You're watching 11 News at 10 with Greg Hurst, Lisa Ferranda, Dr. Neil Frank with weather, and Gif Nielsen with sports. 11 News at 10.
Okay, you have your car. I don't care if it's brand new or it's an old clunker. How long will your tires last? We're usually told as long as the tread holds out. But is that treading on danger? In tonight's Up Close, 11 News reporter Dave Failing explores the debate over how old is too old to stay safe.
It happened on their way to church.
We heard a loud, just like an explosion sound.
They'd later be told the tread had come off one of their SUV's rear tires.
The car was just going full speed to the median. It gets hazy there. I know the car flipped on its side.
Dionne Job was in the passenger seat, its window shattering, her arm now outside the vehicle as it slid on its side down the Sam Houston tollway. A nurse at the hospital would later break the news.
And I said, is my arm gone? And she said, oh, you didn't know they had to, so that was how, she was very nice and everything, but that was how I found out.
Get this ready for you.
You don't have to do that. I can do it.
Since the accident this past spring, Dionne and her mother, who was driving, have come to believe it was due in part to the tires on their Explorer. They had bought them just months earlier at a tire store knowing they were not new tires. The Job said they bought the tires used. They said they looked fine, still had plenty of tread left. But the Job said they had no idea that the tires weren't just used, they may also have been old.
It's an invisible hazard.
Rob Ammons is their attorney. He says the tire was like this one, some 9 years old when they bought it. Old, but little or never used.
The tire will look new.
But he, as well as some other safety experts, say tires, whether they're actually driven on or not, deteriorate, increasing the odds that at highway speeds the tread will come off.
It peels off like you peel off the skin of a potato, if you will.
Some believe tires older than 6 years should not be used, regardless of how few miles are on them. And that would go for the spare. In many pickups and SUVs, it's stored underneath, right next to the exhaust pipe, the heat from which could hasten the aging.
The only way that there's going to be warning labels anytime soon is if the manufacturers realize that it's in their financial best interest to make this change and give consumers this information.
Currently, the only way to tell the age of older tires is by finding this DOT code. The last digit on this tire, 6, means it was made in 1996 or maybe 86. Some safety advocates say tires should be clearly marked with dates like other consumer products. The Job say something needs to be done.
And I would tell anyone, definitely tread separation is something you don't want to happen.
But the tire industry looks at this issue much differently. There is no science that says there's some magic date for all tires when it comes to how old is too old, an industry spokesperson in Washington told us. Tread separations are caused far more often in places like Houston, he said, because tires were underinflated or overloaded and then driven fast on hot roads. In the tragic case of Dionne Job, experts will debate the exact cause of their accident. And the federal government is currently trying to come up with its own test to determine how fast tires age and how dangerous old age might make them. Dave Failing, 11 News, up close.
In Europe, some car makers have already added warnings in their owner's manuals recommending that unused tires more than 6 years old should not be put into service.